I just want to say, so the living room was occupied, so I'm currently in my bedroom. That's why I'm
Okay. No, it's more important for the candidates though to keep their cameras on because our people don't know who each person is. So it's best if our candidates kept their videos on and officers are welcome. All right, so let's begin. My name is Mr. Qureshi, and I am the Kappa president for the year 2019-2020 for Alpha Alpha Xi chapter at Richland.
So, hello everyone. My name is Yusra Qureshi, and I am the current VP of Fellowship for Phi Theta Kappa for the year 2019-2020.
No, we can't hear you.
He's not saying anything.
Who?
Sam.
Me?
Okay.
I'm next?
Work on the audio. Lisa, you're next.
Oh, okay. Hi, everyone. I am not Sam. I am Lisa, and I am the secretary for Alpha Alpha Xi for 2019-2020. But you can still see Sam's face on your screen, not mine.
Lisa, can you mention your new title according to the changed bylaws?
I am now a brand new VP of Public Relations.
Alrighty. Yeah,
Hi. Hey guys, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you now, bro.
Awesome, cool. My name is Sam. I'm the current Vice President of Leadership for 2019-2020 semester. Yeah.
Aman.
Hello everyone, my name is Aman. I am the VP of Scholarship for the year 2019-2020.
Alrighty. So those of our candidates who just joined, can you please kindly turn your videos on? Because like we had mentioned earlier, our voters need to know who they can associate the faces to the names. Yes, they will be seeing your faces more likely on the presentations that you had submitted on the ballot sheet, but it's best if they're able to see your videos on this recorded call. All right. I'm going to start with Claudia, and then Ferdinando, then Olga, and so on. So Claudia, let's begin with your intro. Oh, sorry, Dr. Ewing. You need to introduce yourself too.
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Hi there, I'm Professor Ewing. I'm glad to be here, and I guess that's it. As long as you can hear me. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. I had my desk light off, and then I look like I'm in a cave, right? And then all of a sudden I discover fire. Sorry.
Amazing.
Anyway, a little light note to start us off there. So I'm glad to see all your faces.
Thank you.
Alrighty, Claudia.
Okay, guys. Hi, my name is Claudia Turan, and I am running for Vice President of Fellowship.
Oh, fellowship. Okay, so now me? Okay, so hi everyone. My name is Ferdinando Johnny Castro Gonzalez, and I am running for president position.
Olga.
Hi, my name is Olga Espronceta, and I'm running for VP of Media for the next year. Who's next?
Rejoice.
Oh, hi everyone. My name is Rejoice Okun, and I'm running for Vice President of Fellowship.
Avery?
Me? You say me? Oh,
Yeah.
I go now. Okay. Hi, everybody. I hope you're all doing well. It's been an interesting time, and I'm running for Vice President of Leadership.
All right. Pedro. Unmute yourself.
Uh-oh.
Hi
Yes,
guys,
now
my
we
name
can
is
hear you.
Pedro Acharque, and I'm running for the Vice President of Service.
Great. Alrighty.
Do you have clearance here?
Here as well.
Hey, hi everyone. Kind of making dinner. Well, let me. Hi, I'm Clarence Akako, and I'm running for Vice President of Public Relations.
Alrighty. It appears that we have all our candidates here. Well, more or less. I guess we're missing one or two people. Okay, so I guess we can begin. Does one of the officers have any specific question we want to ask a specific person, or should we just start? Yes, sir.
I just have one clarification
Yes, sir.
question. So PR, is that the new secretary?
Yes, sir.
Okay, that's all.
Okay, so do the officers have a specific question to one of our specific candidates, or do they want to start this Q&A session with a general question, or should I begin?
I just have a question about the order because we all have different, names, so we don't necessarily know the order. Would you just call by name to who is addressed?
Yes, more likely the question, if it's a general question where anyone can answer the question, we'll say that it's a general question and anyone can answer. And if it's targeted for a specific person or for their role specifically, the person asking the question should tell your name and say that, okay, how would you address this question? All right. Okay, so let's start it off with a very basic question, and this is just in general for anyone. How would you, I would just start with what are your goals, whether it be personal or for a chapter, and this is open for anyone. And if each one of you has an answer for this, feel free. So whoever wants to pick this up, they can. What are your goals, either personal or for the chapter for the upcoming year?
I'm just not sure if we are going to follow a specific order or anything.
You go ahead.
Anyone can go ahead. Open question.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I do have a specific goals, but I do understand that we have a limited time. Mostly of my goals are more directed toward the members in the chapter more than myself. I do believe that this last year I was very active with Phi Theta Kappa, and most of the things I would like to do, I believe I already did as a member. And I want to be able to facilitate those opportunities to other members. I feel like I was blessed that since I was so active, I got to experience a lot of the benefits that you have as a candidate, as an officer. But that information is not that accessible yet to most members. So I do want to facilitate those informations to them since I was a member just like them. I also want to open up more like opportunities to leadership because even though we do offer them scholarships, most members do not engage in the activities that are actually going to help them get these scholarships. So I want to make sure that they are able to maybe join in a committee under the vice presidents so they can actually have some active activities for the chapter that are going to help them build up better their resume, and they're going to understand better why we get so excited when we won, like, I don't know, any type of award. They're going to be feeling it instead of just seeing it and kind of like, oh, okay, so he won best HIA, but they don't even know exactly what HIA means. They don't know all the weeks in advance that we were writing all those papers so they can like grade them and all the stuff. So I want them to feel better our chapter and have a better understanding of how it works and actually give them some leadership opportunity as well, even whether they win a position or not.
Okay. So I would urge everyone to please be mindful of the time and just answer very short as you can. So same question is open for anyone else. If no one else has an answer for it yet, we can move over.
You could give us your top 3 goals.
Okay.
Personal or chapter related. Just top 3 because we're on a time.
All right.
Okay. So I would like to say that actually my goals are more for the chapter than for myself, and that I want to first build better relationships among not only the officers but also the members and our future members, so we can engage more people together. I really want to bring people together in this community, promoting the sense of belonging to a community, friendship, and teamwork.
All right, that's a good answer. All right, anyone else who would like to target this?
Yeah, could I go ahead? Did anybody else say? Okay, cool. Okay, so for my goals, but yeah, same as everybody else, it's pretty much aimed more at the chapter than it is at myself. The main thing, I know we're short on time, the main thing that I would like to do is promote more collaboration. And I mean that between clubs, both at Richland and also other Phi Theta Kappa chapters. You know, I've seen you guys have done a great job with the chapter this year. And I think one thing that could really enrich it and one thing that could really add to our sense of community is collaborating more and getting to interact more with the people, because, you know, scholarships are great, but one of the biggest takeaways, I think, for people who really get involved with Phi Theta Kappa is that community. And I think the more we can enrich that, the better it can be for everybody involved.
All right, Rejoice. Just a sec. Let me either unmute you or you can unmute yourself. iPhone. Oh, wait.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, hi, can you all hear me?
Yes.
Yes, okay. So first, I want to start off to say a big congratulations to the past officers. Like I was opportune to come in for a few meetings this year, and then it was awesome, like the collaboration, the arrangement and everything. So my goal for this chapter is to create a conducive environment, a more conducive environment where everyone can come in as and feel welcome, where everyone can come in and feel like they need to be here. So like it's a home away from home, like, you know, after school and the whole stress and all, and you have a meeting or a club to go to, so you go into that place and you feel like you belong there. So as a vice president of fellowship, I want to create that conducive environment where everyone feels welcome through meetings, through clubs, working together with other officials to meet this goal. So that is, and a personal goal for me, my personal goal is I want to be a better version of myself every single time, every single year. I have a personal goal for myself to be a better version, because I believe that I only get one chance to live this year. I only get one chance to be this age. So I try as much as possible to improve myself all around and be a better version of myself every single year. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I see Clarence has his hand up. Clarence, do you want to?
Yeah, I do. So my goals is well, it's a goal that has, you know, sub goals underneath. So, but primarily my goal is innovation, and that could be through collaboration, like Avery said, and passion. So whether that could be applied through service or volunteering, you can find ways to be more innovative about solving problems, about giving back to your community. So, and really, it's more about the community than it is just of myself. So, yeah.
All right, thank you for that answer. Olga, do you?
I'm gonna go last, I guess. So my first.
Grace here as well.
Oh, sorry. And so for my personal goal, I think just continue improving the areas that I haven't been touched on yet. Every year is some, new experience coming my way, but more specifically, I would like to land some internships, because I think hands-on practice is the most important in education, very essential. And then as of the chapter goals, I think, as many already said, a lot of collaboration. And I think as a candidate for media, during these times, it is very important to do social media advertising and being able to, engage with students on such essential part of their life, where they can communicate with our chapter with messages.
Mm-hmm. All righty. Pedro or Grace or Afrida, would you like to answer or give an answer?
I can go. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay, so sorry for being late. I had to finish a test, so I wasn't able to get in on time. But my goals would be specifically to be able to get the members involved, because one thing the chapter really did for me is just made made me feel like I was implicated in every single project, and I would like to give our future members the same opportunity. My second goal would be to, as a VP of scholarship, have the opportunity to have one-on-one time with students to actually go through application processes, because I really enjoy spending time helping students apply for scholarships, and this is something that I've done with many students already, and I feel like I really am called to do that, because I just enjoy helping students and also the whole process of making essays. And my last goal would be to have the chapter keep a 5-star rating, because I feel like this would still keep our reputation very high, and I feel like this is really something that we deserve as a chapter, and I want to be able to maintain the status that we already have. So yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much. All right, so I believe Pedro, we still have you.
Yeah.
We have Afrida.
Okay. I'm gonna talk a little bit about membership participation. So personally, I feel like we all grow by lifting everyone else up. So I feel like as the next officer team for the chapter, by promoting membership participation, we can be able to build our future members. Now, what I mean is that, like, before we start accepting members, we can go ahead and open our doors to students that are willing to become members but are not like eligible, like they do want to participate and all that. So like in a nutshell, I'm trying to say that we should be able to open up our doors to more participation for college students, and that way we're able to build membership participation as chapter officers.
All righty, thank you so much, Pedro.
Thank
Afrida,
you.
can you hear me? I'd like you to unmute yourself, please. And if possible,
Yes, I can hear you.
All right, is it possible for you to open your video?
Yeah, sure.
All right, so since you had joined a little bit late, the question that we were asking is state your top 3 goals for the chapter or for yourself for the coming year. Keep the answers short and brief, since I don't have the full version of the thing. So the meeting will turn off in 40 minutes. So when the time hits, I'll tell you guys, and we can either transition to the other Zoom link. I'll send out another link immediately, or we could probably end it the way it is. So keep your answers short and brief. This is just a way for our members to kind of get to know you a little bit more. We're recording this video as of right now. We'll be posting it on our YouTube and our social media so that the members are better aware of who their candidates are. All right, so let's begin.
So like my goals are to increase the sense of belonging. You know how like our chapter is one of the friendliest chapters. I want members and non-members alike to feel like they belong in the group and that they're a part of the family. And like I want this chapter specifically to be to have these distinctive qualities and to be recognized for like something that it does that makes it stand out among the other chapters in Texas region. And then I want to inspire and motivate our members to do well academically, because Phi Theta Kappa is a club that was created to honor those who do academically. I want them to prioritize academics over anything else. And then yeah, I want them to engage in activities and like you know engage in activities and to participate to improve their communication, leadership skills, and like their speaking skills, because not only will this help them in in like participating in clubs, but also later in life, like leadership skills and speaking skills can help them in a lot of other aspects in their lives, and like to get more members involved and like raise awareness of the opportunities offered by PTK, because like because I learned about PTK from the UTD transfer scholarship website. So like PTK offers a lot of scholarships and then a whole bunch of benefits. Then it's on your transcript, and it makes your transcript look good. So like yeah, those are my goals.
All right, thank you so much for that answer. All right, so I've asked my question. I will be asking more eventually, but let's open the floor up to our other officers. I believe Yusra.
Can Frida mention what position she's running, please? I don't think she said it.
Oh yes, Afrida, please introduce yourself and the position you're.
I'm running for the president. I have no idea of how it works or anything. Um, I was just asked to run for like select the position. I was like, I'm just gonna. There is like I was gonna run for the service position or like the pres. Okay, so like I'm running for the president. I know that it's a lot of responsibility. But like yeah.
All right, thank you.
Okay, so my first question I wanted to ask for everyone, but given the time restraint that we have, I would like to ask this question to those who are running for the fellowship position, which is Claudia and Rejoice. So this question is specifically for you guys, but later on, if someone wants to reuse the question for everyone else, I'm open to that. How would you, or what is the meaning of teamwork in your idea? Like, what's the definition when you hear teamwork? Claudia?
Okay. For me, teamwork means that nobody should be left behind. Bringing people involved in our team, giving them, explaining them, informing them what we're doing, how we're going to do, how we're going to reach our goals, and how can we embrace ourselves as a teamwork to do as many things as we can.
Okay. Rejoice?
Okay. Okay. So teamwork to me, when I hear teamwork, I hear a work that can only be achieved as a team. So you can't achieve this work any other way but as a team, because I believe that it takes two hands to clap. You can't clap with just one hand, and everyone has different potentials. We are just like a puzzle. Every piece matters. So like we can't, do this work without this person, or okay, put the workload on one person. So when I hear teamwork, I hear a work that can only be achieved with a group of a team. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Good answer. Anyone else wants to jump in, or can I ask my next question to everyone else? Okay, this next question is for everyone, and please use your computer or screen to raise your hand and answer so there's no confusions. The next question is, why did you decide to run for your specific title, and what are your goals? Like just one main thing that you want to fix or you want to improve, like a goal. So the table's open.
All right, Grace.
For me, I would say it's because before Emmanuel was even the VP of scholarship, I already knew him and I already had a good relationship with him. So getting to see him go through all the process of being an officer and being involved in PTK, it really inspired me. So basically, inspire all the students and at the same time be able to give them the opportunity to improve themselves, either in their scholarship applications or just in collaborations as a team. So yeah, I would say that this one thing is just inspiration and be able to be a role model for the students.
All right, okay. Thank you. Ferdinando, we see your hand raised.
Hi. Well, the reason why I'm running for president is because, like I said, I was already very active and I get to experience every aspect of Phi Theta Kappa. Jesus, so many fellowship events. I already have a lot of connection with chapters all throughout Texas. And I learned a lot from the past officers, which I consider myself having a very good understanding of Phi Theta Kappa stands for and their goal for us as students and members. And also because of my major is exhibition and event management. So I'm already have experience organizing events and meetings. And in Phi Theta Kappa, you have to do a lot of this. to be successful in kind of a sense. So it is really like, I feel like it was a good fitting position for myself. I have the experience of doing events before. I have the experience why the conferences of Phi Theta Kappa, also what is expected from you to run for whether regional or even international positions, which is also one of my goals, is to make one of our members obtain one of those positions. I want to make it short. I want to say so much. But in general terms, I have the experience for meetings. I have the experience with Phi Theta Kappa, and I know exactly what is expected from each vice president. So I feel like I'm ready for that.
Alrighty.
Okay.
Rejoice.
Rejoice has her hand up.
Pedro had it up before.
Okay.
All right. Thank you so much. Pedro,
No problem.
unmute yourself.
So what actually inspired me to run for office was my journey in Phi Theta Kappa. So I started off at this chapter as a non-member, actually as a prospect member, and I wanted to serve. I wanted to help out. I actually wanted to know what I was going into before becoming a member. So I actually joined in my second semester thereabout. So when I found out about Phi Theta Kappa and I knew what it was all about and how I could actually serve, being able to attend the conferences and the various meetings y'all organized actually helped me know what I was supposed to do as a member. And all of that information, all of that knowledge wouldn't have been gotten if I just sat down and waited to become a member one day or to become to get my my invitational letter. So I decided to run for office so that opportunity could be opened up to college students that feel like they need to be very professionally equipped. They need to be very smart to become a Phi Theta Kappa member. So yeah, that's why I chose to run for the officer position. And then for the officer position for service, what actually brought me to Phi Theta Kappa was the spirit of volunteering. So being able to volunteer in almost all of the events y'all hosted made me want to run for that office so I could be able to teach members how to be able to relate through volunteering and to be able to build up their participation through service.
All right. Thank you so much. And now, Rejoice, your turn.
All right. So I chose to run for this position because this is my passion. This is my passion to make sure that people come together. This is my passion to make sure that that people's potentials are being enhanced in a group, that no one feels like they're being silenced and all. So I have this experience, I have this passion. Like whenever I go to a group, and then just like I wrote in my slide, that I've held musical groups because I saw people sitting down and I'm like, okay, I think like this person has the potential to sing if they're encouraged to, because that is how I started. Someone saw this in me and someone said, oh, okay, come, get along, even if you're shy, okay, even if you're, like you're timid, but once you stand together as a group, you somehow draw strength from each other, and then you're able to stand and you're able to do things that you couldn't do. So that was why I chose to run for this position. And my goal for this group, my goal for this chapter is to take this chapter and to maintain the 5-star rating that we have now of friendship, to take this chapter to the next level, to take this chapter to a place where everyone feels welcome and no one is left behind. Thank you.
All right, Olga, you are next.
Hey, so to start with, I would say that I've been with Phi Theta Kappa since 2018. Same like Pedro, my journey started as prospect member, and throughout it, I learned a lot of skills that are necessary for media position. It was hard to decide which exactly position I would love to. But considering my major in computer science, I consider myself really good with technology, as well as I've been able to improve a lot of skills that will require for this position, like making flyers, videos, as well as like I have my own website. And maybe a more specific goal for the chapter would be creating a yearbook, whether it's digital or actual yearbook, and just like revolutionize the way we communicate between chapter. Thank you.
Clarence, I see you have your hand up.
Yeah. Do I put it on video? Okay. Yeah. For me, why I chose public relations is because it's to promote our chapter's image, brand, and to learn more about soft skills, because that's personally for me, that's an area that I just ideally the reason why I joined Phi Theta Kappa, to learn more about soft skills, because I come from a very, very technical, hardcore background. So that's sort of building soft skills. So for me, I picked up public relations because it's a challenge, and I love. I wouldn't say enjoy challenges, but challenges are very attractive for me. So that's one of the reasons why I chose public relations.
All right, thank you.
To help build.
I see you have your hand raised. Frida?
Yes. I chose the position because like the current president is really nice, and she doesn't really intimidate people, and doesn't really make people feel like she's above us. So I wanted to be like that, and I wanted people to feel comfortable. And yeah, so the my goal, like my topmost goal, would be to prioritize academics, and like to get people engaged and involved in activities. And yeah, and like I loved the meetings that Phi Theta Kappa had, and then yeah, like it's a really good cool group. Bye.
Thank you so much. Grace, were you able to hear the question?
Yeah, he's the one who answered first.
Okay. So everyone's answered, I'm assuming.
Could I go ahead, actually? I haven't yet.
Very.
Okay, awesome. So, okay. One of the main reasons why I chose this position and why I'm running in the first place at all is because I've seen the potential that Phi Theta Kappa has, both for helping others to improve themselves and also just improving yourself. So both for others, helping them along their path, and then also improving yourself along your own path. And through the 2 years, I guess, 2 different officer boards that I've seen, both of them have done a great job, but I think that there's a couple areas where I guess maybe we could, and maybe improve is the wrong word, but kind of re-innovate, And so I just see it's the potential. That's what it all boils down to, though, is that I see potential for us to both continue the great things that we've been doing and then also add to that. And I think that that's really valuable, and that's something that you should pursue no matter what it is.
Alrighty, Claudia, I see you. You're going to be going next, so go ahead.
Okay, so I actually decided to run for fellowship, so for bi-personal fellowship, because this is something I really want to share with people about belonging to a community, feeling like you're part of something, and getting people engaged to get to know more people around, not only in our chapter, but around our campus and in the other 7 sister chapters that we have in close to Dallas. I really think I really would like to engage these people. I want to, as I say, I want to bring people together in this community, promoting friendship and teamwork. And I really want to get to know more people, so people can get to know more of us in our chapter. We can get to know more of our people here, because all of you have done amazing stuff, and it is incredible when you learn about what you have done. So I really would like to create like a space where we can share not only information about PTK, but also our experiences, what we have done, and also have some fun, and just like so people can see we're actually like another society that is not boring. We can have so much fun together, and yes, that's basically what I want to do.
All right, thank you so much. Okay, officers, the floor is yours. And next question.
So I will go next. So yeah, we have heard a lot about like leadership, teamwork, and everything. So I'm just going to ask some random questions. It's for everybody. Just give me one answer on to the question. Hold on, I just put my question. So the question is, what do you think is the most important quality of a team member?
It's a one word.
Yes, from everybody. What do you think is one of the most important quality of a team member?
May I go?
Yes.
I think it is communication.
Freddie?
Good.
Yeah, I was about also to say communication, but since Olga said it, I'm also gonna add relatability. You need to be able to relate with others and understand their position, and not just try to make yourself impose into others.
Good. Claudia?
Mega. So I think it would be communication, and also what Fernando said, but also I would like to add that support, being able to support everybody, so we engage more together in a teamwork to be able to all of us get to reach the goal.
Good.
Keep it simple. It's just one word answers.
Yes.
One word? I'm limited to one word? Okay. Initiative. Initiative.
Good. Pedro?
I'll say cooperation.
Good. Rejoice?
So what everyone said, communication is important, and I feel like submission too. We need to be able to submit to each other. Even if you think that your idea is right, you need to be able to submit to others' ideas.
Good. Grace?
I would say consideration of others people's opinions and point of view, because it involves communication as well as being able to include others.
Good. Frida?
I'd like to say participation, also the readiness with which you can help people. Being ready, there's a need for help.
Good. Okay. Clarence?
Hey, so I need for me, it would be empathy, because there's a lot. Empathy requires communication as well. So that's for me what I find is more important.
Alrighty. Okay, good question. Do you want to ask another question, or Lisa, are you? Yes, you're still here. Do you want to ask another question?
Wait, am I asking everyone, or can I just ask one specific person? Whoever's running?
You may.
So, how many of us are running for the VP of Public Relations?
Just one.
One? Okay.
Clarence.
So my first question for you is, what does the VP of Public Relations do?
I'm sorry, it was kind of peachy. I couldn't follow what the question was.
What does the VP of Public Relations do?
So, from my understanding, public relations, the position, what that does is to promote the image of the chapter or the brand of the chapter. So, in terms of how you communicate or reflect the chapter to others, to the public, really. And also, it involves I don't want to use the word publicize because that would be too cliche, but it will be more of like exposing or promoting things that are happening in the club, events or activities, in terms of volunteering, in terms of service, in terms of scholarships, in terms of leaderships, those sort of things. And it's an area that I've had quite a bit of an experience in. So in high school, I was the public relations officer for the JETS Club, which was the Junior Engineers, Technicians, and Scientists. So that taught me a lot of things within the club, and it was a club that I actually co-founded. So because the club was dead, and that's another thing with public relations, and it involves a lot of motivation and teamwork, and this might just lead me to jump back to the previous question in teamwork. Teamwork involves talent, empathy, and motivation. So, and also to learn from other people, with the willingness to to learn and to be taught. So basically, that's why I joined. If ideally, personally, I would like to shadow someone who's also been in the same position, so I can learn from past experiences.
Okay. And did you know that the VP of Public Relations is also responsible for the same stuff as the secretary was? Which includes taking notes, just all of that stuff, keeping track, filling in for another officer if they don't show up.
Yes, and I am aware of that as well.
Okay, and how would you say you're qualified for that part?
I would be qualified for that part in terms of, well, I believe I'm qualified for that part in terms of communicating more with people who are in leadership positions, knowing what they're doing, what their status is in terms of how it reflects on the chapter, and also being able to be organized and keep track of progress within the chapter, and be able to have references, maybe. So, for example, you have a meeting, you would have the secretary's role would be to record or to take minutes or to keep account of activities, maybe for previous or for future references. So, and for me, I try to keep myself more organized, because every day you have new ways of organizing yourself. So for me, what I personally use for organizing myself is I have timetables. And I use a software called Trello, which actually it helps me track my progress, and I believe it can be used or applied to team collaborations, and also for organizations, which is something that I think it's been valuable to me. I think it would be valuable to the organization I find myself in.
All right, thank you.
All right, so I have a pressing question for most of our candidates. More so, this goes for both my president candidates. So as you may, sorry, as you may know already, you are not only the face of this organization on campus, but you're also the face of the organization. Should you become the president, you're the face of the organization in every aspect you're doing for a year. So that relates to your communication within your chapter, that relates to communication on how you're doing with your own team, how you're talking to the advisor, because you're the communication bridge between the officers and the advisors in terms of how information is relayed to each one of them. Of course, all of this takes a lot of time. You're in charge of planning, you're in charge of execution, you're in charge of filling in for positions for those people who haven't showed up to the meetings, or coming up with resolutions to conflicts. Because for example, if the team is not sitting well together, you need to make sure that as the president, you're making sure that everything goes as smoothly as possible. So that being said, time is one key aspect where you need to dedicate as much time as possible. So how, for my president candidates, and then this question can be opened up to other candidates as well. How do you tend to manage, like, given your current busyness or given your current schedule with your classes or involvement with other clubs and organizations, how do you plan on donating your time to Phi Theta Kappa to ensure that all our goals are met and to make sure that all the team's working fine, the meetings are being done on time, and so on?
Okay, I guess I go first. Well, I already have a lot of experience with time management. I don't know how many people know me, but those who know me know that I have been managed to be involved in more than 11 organizations. I've been active with all of them, and I've been able to keep up with all those organizations, plus my 4 classes, keeping a 4.0 GPA. And I even managed to gain the Hall of Honor in Phi Theta Kappa in the Texas region. So I think that I get that part. Plus, I already have experience organizing events, as I said, and organizing meetings. I also was the resolution community chair for the whole region of Student Government Association. And I managed to pass I managed to pass 5 resolutions that are going to be improving the life of all the campuses in District 2, Region 2 in this case. So I believe that that's not one area that I'm going to be lacking, since I already have a lot of practice, even before coming to this country, since I was a professional athlete and I was a captain of my team since I had like 10 years old. So I know also how to deal with conflicts. I tend to keep everything in a laughing mood while also being serious. And I'm able to already know the candidates. Like, I know how to talk to them. I've been experiencing a lot of fellowship with them and also life on campus. So that also will facilitate me the communications with them. I'm gonna keep it short. That's it.
All right, Afrida.
In my case, I'm gonna use planners and reminders app on my phone, and like plan everything out on
Can you speak a little bit louder?
I'm gonna plan everything out on a piece of paper, and then I'm gonna use a planner and then reminders on phones, and then I can, like, the most convenient way to reach me, and like how there's this connection between the advisor and the president, and that's how the members can reach the advisor. So like email should be the most effective way to communicate, and then yeah, like with the time management and everything, yeah, I'm gonna, like, even with my classes, I use planners and reminders and everything, and communicating with members, that should not be an issue, I guess, because I can communicate with members and talk to them and talk things out. And like if they're facing a problem, if they're not able to come to meetings, or like if they are, yeah, like if they have a problem, I can sort things out with them, and like, or if they have if there's an issue with not being able to get an invitation on time, or like something, I'm gonna talk with them, and then I'm gonna give them my phone number. That way they can reach me. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank.
All right. So, all right. So do you guys the other candidates, do y'all want to answer this question in terms of how would you be managing your time? Because being an officer is nearly a full-time job, because you're basically running the chapter. So how would you be managing your classes and your time with Phi Theta Kappa versus other organizations that you might be part of?
Before you proceed, permission to speak?
Yes, yes.
Can I ask a few questions before we move on to the remaining officers?
Yes, go ahead.
So one of the questions I had was for Grace. What do you think your strongest leadership quality is?
Could you repeat your question, please? I can't really hear you well.
Yeah. What do you think your strongest leadership quality is?
Oh, my strongest leadership quality, I think, is being able to relate to the person that I'm leading. So basically, it's just being able to have this one-on-one connection with the person that I'm leading for them to feel safe around me and to just open up to me and be able to actually allow me to do whatever leadership I need to do for them. So it's just being relatable to others.
Thank you. I guess the second question is somewhat related to what Isra was talking about, but really focused on the VP of scholarship aspect of it.
Mm-hmm.
So holding an officer position, as Isra was mentioning, it takes a lot of time, and it really requires you to wisely manage your time as well. So how do you keep yourself organized and able to meet deadlines?
Is your question, how do I keep myself organized?
Yes, and able to meet deadlines.
Oh, okay. Well, for me, I know that first I need to be able to just focus on a few limited things. So, for example, knowing that I'm running for the VP of scholarship position, I want to turn down for every other position that I have in other clubs, because I'm also the secretary of the Students for the Exploration of Space at Richland College. But I feel like if I try to manage both positions, it's going to be too much. So I just want to step down from this other position to be able to focus on the VP of scholarship aspect of things. But at the same time, I know that involvement is really what's more important. So I just want to be able to keep one side of my schedule for the academics and the others for the organizations I'm a part of. So I feel like, just like Ferdinando said, I was also able to be a part of many clubs and at the same time be able to keep up a 4.0 GPA. So I think that I have a good experience in overall time management. And I just think that the most important is, the thing that's most important is just being able to give enough time for every single activity you're part of. So yeah, sorry, my phone just rang. So did it answer your question, Aman?
Yes, perfect. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
All right, so now the question is, same question is open to floor. We're gonna go with Claudia first, and then Rejoice, and then Pedro, then Avery. For y'all to, and then Olga, for y'all to be able to answer the question. Again, the question asks, how would you be managing your time and your responsibilities as an officer for Phi Theta Kappa should you take office?
Okay, I believe that I am pretty much a very organized person, and I actually like, I think many of you have seen, I like writing a lot on my notebook. So I actually keep a lot of track of deadlines and information we need to share. And also I consider myself to be very punctual at the hour that we have to be on a meeting, respecting other people's time. Because as my time is actually I do participate in not only in college stuff, but I have also some stuff to do at home. But I am willing to share all my free time that I have left for you guys, for the organization, to be able to help. So I am in college, yes, I'm taking 4 classes, and also I am part of the Alas Latina Club. But then there is just this organization, the other one that I will be participating in. Therefore, I have a lot of time that I want to give just to you guys.
All right, Rejoice, it's your turn. Let me.
All right, so I'm a full-time student as well, but I believe that beyond academic, we have to improve on soft skills as well. We have to improve on skills that will help us in the future, because leaving the college work, the 4 walls of school we're going to a real world where you have to combine things, where you have to get used to things. So I've been working on this because this is what I've been brought up with. So my parents instilled in us that beyond academic, you need to improve on skills, you need to improve on your talents as well. So just like I mentioned earlier, that this is more of a talent and a potential to me than a position. So I believe that this is another medium for me to improve on a talent that will help me beyond school, that will help me beyond the certificate that I will get. So I've managed throughout my years from young to combine academic and to combine other skills, to help other activities to help develop inborn talents and inborn skills in me. So
Who's next?
I am, I guess.
No, I'm just waiting. Maybe you.
Okay.
Maybe you're next.
I think I'm next.
Yeah, Pedro's next, and then Avery.
And then
All right. So the way I work with time management is that I keep a time track to everything that I do. So I understand that as a full-time student and as a scholar, I don't believe just getting the GPA and going to class is just all that it has to take. You also have to participate in campus activities, build your soft skills, like Rejoice said. And I set time for everything like that. So I normally take 4 to 5 classes a semester, and I put a time for that I actually read and prepare for classes. And I'm not the kind of student that goes to class every day. So the same thing goes for club activities. I limit. I'm not also the kind of person that can be everywhere. So I limit the number of clubs that I join and my participation in them. Because that way, I'm able to participate in class and do really well in class, and also do really well in clubs. Apart from that, I believe that having a very good communication skill would help you as a leader or whatever you're doing in a club. So let's say, for example, something comes up, because every single time something is gonna come up, and you wanna let someone know you would want to do that stuff. So being able to communicate with the people you're working with and being able to let them know what's going on and how you cannot show up. I feel like that's really important, because when you don't let them know, when you don't communicate with them, you don't get to show up for whatever meeting you guys have planned for. It becomes a problem because you did not communicate. But being able to set your time, knowing what you're doing, know what you have to do, and in case something comes up, you're able to communicate with people you're working with. That's not gonna put a red mark on your leadership skills. That's not gonna say that you were not able to achieve this goal. You were not able to achieve that goal because you let them know that you were not there. So I feel like apart from being able to set times for everything, you should also be able to have that good communication skills. Because Isha said this is like a full-time job, and I don't know how many of y'all have jobs like work full-time. You would know that whenever you're not gonna like show up for a day, you should call and let them know and stuff like that. Like some like a no call, no show stuff. Can't really remember because it's the last time I worked. So yeah, that's it. Thank you.
all right, thank you.
Avery, you're next.
Yes. All right. So okay, just like Fernando said, like I've also been like a part of a lot of different clubs over the years. Last year more so, because I think at one point last year I was in 11. I was in 11. I was in like maybe 8 at once, but I also had like 19 hours of classes, and so it was pretty busy. And then after that semester, I was like, okay, look, I can never do this to myself again. Like I wasn't sleeping well the entire semester. The rest of my life was just kind of like completely on hold the entire time. And so after that, then I kind of learned to, I guess, prioritize what I needed for myself. You know, so if I needed time for classes, then I needed to prioritize that. If I could give time to clubs, then I needed to learn to plan in advance so that I could do that, you know, because I didn't want to be in the position where I had to, you know, let's say I had a test tomorrow, except also I was needed to do something for a club. Obviously, I have to choose the test. I didn't want to be in that position to begin with, though. And so because of that, then I've been very careful since then to kind of plan what I'm a part of, because I want to be able to give it my best work. And so there's nothing that would change next year, of course. I think just like Pedro was saying, communication is probably the biggest thing, because everybody has things that come up in their life. You know, it's not like the entire semester, then you'll have enough time to do everything you'd like to do. And so as long as you can communicate to your other officers and let them know, hey, I need help. Look, I have a test coming up. I can't do my duties right now. Do you think you could help me out for now? Then sure, they'd be fine with it. You know, you can work it out with people. But all that it just takes is communication and planning.
Awesome. Okay, Olga.
Well, speaking of time, I'm going to be trying to be very brief and to the point. How I try to, we're not perfect. Everyone has, you know, times where they don't keep up with their schedules. But what I found really useful is Google Calendar and reminders over there, more than like writing it, because we carry our phones everywhere. And speaking of time on campus, I dedicated my time to Phi Theta Kappa. I am a part of different ones, but I am active only in Phi Theta Kappa. And I think it's a great advantage to me because I can dedicate time and be present in every meeting. Thank you.
Okay. Since we are running out of time and we're close to finishing the meeting, I would like to ask just one finishing question to both my fellowship candidates. The question is, how would you ensure harmony between the team? Because as a fellowship officer, I feel like it's our responsibility to ensure that the team is being harmonious. There's no bad blood between each other, or there's no anger or any secrets between each other. Because I personally, from my experience, I felt like secrets were the downfall. So, Claudia?
I think it will be communication, being able to open with our team and just express in a kindly way what we're thinking and how we're not able to do some stuff and why, what is stopping us. Once we have all that stuff in the table, we can share solutions and we can support each other, because it may be something personal that is going on in my life, something that is stopping me for doing all my duties for the office and an officer position. So if I share, if I communicate with my team what is going on, they might help me to solve my problems, so I can engage better in not only my life, but also in the organization. So I actually think it's communication the key for keeping an harmonious environment around not only the officers, but also with the members.
Awesome. Rejoice?
Okay. So for me, I would say, so I would try as much as I can to be at peace with everyone, because it's important for the chapter to go on without, you know, people having misunderstandings and all those other type of stuff. So how I would contribute towards that is I would communicate, just like Claudia said. I will communicate and I will try and respect, because I believe it's important to respect everyone's opinion, because I feel like when people bring up their opinion and it's shoved to the side, you know, and done and dealt like unimportant, then people take offense. And also I would try as much as possible to listen to everyone's opinion. It may not be what we want at that time, but you can respectfully decline to it or accept it. And then, you know, like if you're going to decline to it, you do it in such a way that the other person doesn't feel hurt or feel like they don't want to talk next time. So I'm going to do everything within my power, even to listen to other officers, because just as I said, it's important for us to learn from others, and to because when we learn, then, you know, we have what we require to teach to others as well. So I believe that I'm going to listen to other officers, you know, like if there are ways of improvement that people can recommend, or, you know, we just try as much as possible to be at peace with everyone. So those the 2 points that I made.
Alrighty. Hey, thank you. That was a good answer for both of you guys. Thank you. I believe Isra has a question for the president candidates. And before we go, can we mention that Wednesdays 3:30 to 4:30 are the time for?
Okay. So I don't know how clear it is to everyone who has become a candidate. Of course, it's been more difficult to keep track of the information that has already gone through to you guys and versus the information that might have kind of slipped through the cracks. So something that's really important to keep track of is that our meetings are pretty much the only way we can get more of our projects done in a timely manner, in a way that nothing's rushed and nothing's last minute. Because of course, when there are 7 or 8 people in a group and each of them has a different time schedule to attend to, everyone has different classes and different priorities, it becomes a little bit more dicey for everyone to be on the same page as to what needs to be done and what's the deadline for each item that needs to be executed. That being said, we need to, as officers, we need to be mindful of our advisors' time as well. And so the reason we've chosen or we've had Wednesdays from 3:30 to 4:30 as a time is because all of our advisors, we have 3 advisors. Dr. Ewing is one of them. He's our main chapter advisor. The other 2 advisors, Dr. Kress and Miss Melanie, are our co-advisors. All of them are available typically on Wednesdays from 3:30 to 4:30. As new officers, you may have a chance to change the time, but I would strongly urge you guys to first communicate with the advisors to see if that time works for them or not. Because for our meetings to be official, we need at least 1 advisor there for it to be considered official or a general meeting. Otherwise, it's just the officers meeting together to do planning sessions or to do a workshop and anything like that. That being said, I hope everyone is able to keep their coming fall. Like, we haven't registered for classes yet, I hope, for fall. So please work your class schedule and your work schedule if you can in a way that you have Wednesdays 3:30 to 4:30 available, regardless of whether we're having a meeting that day or not. As an officer, you need to make sure that your time is available, and the rest is up to the team. If y'all want to meet once a week, if y'all want to do it twice a week, it's up to you guys. But make yourself so that you know that, yes, I know I am available, so if needed, I can jump in when needed too. That being said, the question for the presidents is that, of course, we're all aware that having the title as a president is a really good thing to have on your resume. It's really good for you personally. How do you detach yourself in a way that you're not doing it for the title, but you're doing it for the actual benefit of the chapter, and you're actually putting yourself out of the situation and saying that, okay, this may not be the best thing for me, but this is the best thing for the team. For example, you and the team has an idea. The president naturally doesn't have a vote, but as a president, you're not abusing your power and saying that, no, because I'm the president, I'm enforcing this regardless of if it fractures the team or if it disengages the team from you. How would you make sure that you're not putting your team in a position that makes them feel that, oh, they're throwing their weight around just because they're the president?
Okay. I am a very huge advocate for communication. And every time that I have been in a leadership position, mostly when either a captain or the head of any organization, I am known for not trying to put myself up to the group, but kind of like making sure that it is the whole group who is in accord to whatever the decision is being made. I tend to, and I even encourage this when I'm with them, don't see me as a president, because I'm not here to rule you. I'm here as another member who is just in charge of making sure that all of ideas are put together and that we are all in track with our deadlines. So in my case, I'm gonna just make sure that the group just collaborate with each other. Also that if we are in an impasse, that we can vote on it, we can have like some type of writing or anything. But there are many communications skills and techniques that we can apply as a group, that it comes even more natural when you have opportunity to know each other better. That can allow you to not feel that way. And just in the term of personalities, I actually never like to even say what you must do. So I don't know how much time do we have, but mostly I'm gonna say that I'm gonna be just keeping track with everybody's communicating, and if they're not communicating, I'm gonna make sure that I'm able to communicate with them one way or another. So yeah.
The first reason that I chose the position of a president was because Isra was really nice to me, and she, like I said, she had this vibe around her that you can reach her and like talk to her. So like I want to have that reachability, that you can just reach me and talk to me, and if you have a problem, you can just come to me, and yeah, and also so that is what I want to prioritize. Being a president doesn't really mean that you're above any of them, that you're a leader or anything. Yes, you're a leader. You're going to help other people and make sure that everything is on track, and that everything is, um, oh wait, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Oh, okay. So like that everything is on track and that everything is running smoothly. Um, yeah, but like also you need to make everyone feel comfortable in like coming to you and talking to you, and if like anything at all, you need to make sure that the club is running well, that like everyone's doing well, and if there's a problem with the fellowship, or like so there's a problem with this other part, this other office or something, you're gonna have to take responsibility for that. But also like regular people, someone having problem with getting an invitation, or someone having problem with I don't know, like something, you always need to be there, and like you need to have understand the responsibility that you're taking, and you need to be available for everything, like yeah. um
All right, thank you so much. Okay, so we see we'll address these couple of questions that are in the chat box, and after which it's a wrap. We are done. Like I said, this meeting is being recorded, so this will be posted on our YouTube and our social medias, and possibly our website if we're able to work out some of the kinks that we're going through right now. Other than that, please be aware that by tonight midnight, our voting ballot should be going live, and each member is supposed to be making a vote. The possible candidates are supposed to be voting as well. I think you can't vote for yourself. You have to vote for someone else, or no? No, I think this time you can. You can vote for yourself. We'll be putting out more instructions with the ballot once we are ready with the link, and we'll be sending it out through the email. Please keep track of your emails, because that's one of the only ways that we can efficiently communicate, whether it be just between the officers or the officers to members. So keep an eye out on your emails, keep track of the emails, and we'll be sending out the information by midnight tonight. Okay, so a couple of questions. That's a different one. Okay, how will you, Daphne asked, how will you, where'd it go? No.
So here, how will you work on,
where?
Mine is for the officers and fellowship. How will you guys improve on communication specifically?
May I answer?
But it's for fellowship. It's for fellowship.
She said officers also.
Originally, I said officers, but I mean it's up to you.
Yeah, I mean, I just
can
feel like. Go ahead. I mean, I feel like communication is a big part for VP of Media, and since we don't have Officer of Media here right now, I would like to answer as well. So I really wish to create a newspaper that would be sent out to our members to engage with them as a part of communication between members, where they can actually have some kind of participation and feeling that they're involved with chapter, even if they're not present physically. As well as we don't know the current situation, but Zoom communication is a big thing, and giving information out there ahead of time, like in the social media, because we all exposed to it, is going to be very beneficial for communication between members. Thank you.
Okay, Ferdinando has his hand up, and then Claudia.
Oh, well, I think Claudia goes first. It's fine.
Thank you, Ferdinando. And I actually had this on the things I want to do, and is to work with the VP of social media, creating a space where we can communicate with other people, maybe a forum. Actually, the newspaper idea is just awesome. I love that idea, and I believe that is something that it would be great to do to keep more people informed. So something that I also want to do for communication is maybe to create just to create not only the group me app. I don't know if that work for everyone, but maybe WhatsApp. WhatsApp is also sometimes better to use, where we can communicate with not only the officers but also more members, and as much as people as want to even to join this conversation. And basically the forum when we can share what we have done in the meetings for the people that was unable to join. So I think that's the way I would like to improve communication in our chapter.
All right, Fernando.
Hi, thank you. Well, before I respond, Daphne, is the responses of Olga and Claudia going toward the direction that you were meaning? Because I had a different approach of your communication question. So I just want to make sure.
I'm open to anything in general. I just would like to see how communication could be improved, because I'm sure everyone has very different ideas of communication. So
okay. Well, yes. Like I said, I do want to make sure that members are more aware of really what's going on. For example, something that I noticed is that the last conference we went, most of our new members were like kind of lost in events. So I do want to make sure that all these informations that are going to help you experience better these conferences are available for you. And I will be keeping in track with Olga and also with the fellowship to make sure that not only we can reach everyone, but that I also can get the base one-on-one with the members. So I am making sure that they are understanding and that I'm able to respond to any questions you all may have.
All righty, Rejoice.
So I would like to suggest, like, I was thinking we can create something, I don't know if it's like from a media or just something where after the meetings, because I read that the vice president of fellowship, we conduct meetings, is it the induction or stuff like that. So I want, so after each meeting where people, they get something like a questionnaire where they can suggest ways of improving and stuff like that. And I will also want for communication to be emphasized in every meeting, like, okay, to tell everyone that their opinion matters. And when people come up with opinion, we can, embrace it and, move on with that. So that's my idea.
All righty. Does anyone else want to answer? Okay, Avery, go ahead.
Can I go ahead? Okay, awesome. So, okay, that sounds like a two-part question almost. I guess one of them would be the officers communicating to each other, and then the other would be communicating to the members and involving them. And as far as the officers communicating, I think the main thing that revolves around is that all of us have a positive relationship with each other, which I think if we all work on it, that's what relationships are built on, is like the work that you put into them. And so I think if we all commit ourselves to that, then it should work out just fine, and we should have a positive relationship. And if we can use our planning and use our, the tools that we have disposable to us, like I think Google Calendar was mentioned, Trello, just things like that, then I think that could help the officers a lot. So just combining those two things, I think the officers would be great. As far as the members, I think that one's a little bit more complex because, obviously the ones who are more active, the ones who separate themselves out from the rest of them would be, it'd be easiest for them to get information. To get it out to the rest of them, I think that's more of like a marketing campaign thing. And so I think, I think Olga would do a great job with that. And but that's a little bit more complex because it's almost like it becomes an outreach question, and it becomes a question of how are you reaching out to people who are not members yet, or how are you reaching out to people who are members but are not active and only do it for the resume or whatever it is. And that'd be almost like maybe tabling events is what comes to mind for me, just because you can have games set up, you could have anything like that, and it doesn't even have to be for an event. You could just do like, hey guys, you want to do like a couple tables this week? Sure, why not? And then anybody who's available can just go and help out there. You can get some snacks or whatever, and people love it. You'll get to talk to plenty of people. So okay, I've been talking for too long. I'll end it there.
All right, thank you. Grace, you had your hand up, and then Clarence, do you want to go next?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, Grace, go ahead.
Thank you.
So yeah, I just wanted to talk a little bit about the whole officers to members communication. What I think might be interesting, knowing the effect that it had within our space club at Richland College, is just having both formal and informal meetings, because some students just won't be able to go to our formal meetings, but if they go to informal meetings, they can at least know what we did during the meetings and keep up with the content, keep up with everything. And at the same time, we can just have a more chill time and just on up the games or do something else. So it's just an idea.
The connection is kind of peachy. It's just fuzzy. I'm not able to hear a lot of what people are saying. And is the question about how to improve, or suggestions to improve the chapter?
No, the question pertains to how would you be working on communication? Because most of the candidates said that they'd be working on improving communication. So Daphne, just in general, asked how would you be improving communication as an officer, should you become an officer?
Right. So should I become an officer? Communication is critical. It's very critical, because no matter what if you can, convey your ideas, you're as good as stuck, or is as good as isolated, and that's not good. So it from my experience, it works within. It can be within the chapter, within team members, and then you can push that out further to the public. So that in terms of branding, in terms of well, like I agree with Avery when he said campaigning and outreach. I don't know if we've done much of that, because I'm still fairly new with the chapter, and I've seen a lot of brilliant ideas, like from the games that Augur puts in the presentations, how to break the ice. Those are really, really good things. And to further push boundaries, I would suggest things like to let people know more about the chapter. So maybe podcasts, for example. That's something that's fairly new. We can take advantage of social media like YouTube and create our own good publication through different media outlets that we have right now. That a lot of things are virtual, so we can seize that opportunity and use it to the best of our advantage.
All right, thank you so much.
Well,
is there anyone here who has not answered that question yet?
I believe Frida.
She did right after you. Okay, so calling this to a conclusion, please keep in mind, like I said, the ballots will be going live by midnight tonight. We'll all be sharing the links through emails, primarily through social media, just any way we can get our members engaged and getting to vote for you guys. So once that happens, we will be announcing the results of it by next week. So the timing will be the same, from 3:30 to 4:30 p.m. Next Wednesday. So please stay tuned, or keep your schedules available for that time slot. Additionally, either within that meeting or in a following meeting, we'd like you guys to prepare questions for the officers in terms of what you have regarding the specific position that you're running for. If you need some clarification on maybe some duties that you might have seen the officer perform, or maybe the bylaws aren't that clear and you need further help understanding what's going on. Because our primary objective of getting our elections out of the way so soon in the semester was to ensure that the current officer team could train the next officer team before we leave, so that you have a smoother transition and you don't have to learn everything from scratch in your summer break, and that you're just ready to hit the ground once fall starts, and you can start the projects and whatever else it is that you all have in mind. So that being said, yes, Dr. Ewing.
As long as you're done with what you were saying.
Yes, I am.
Okay, everyone can hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, I wanted to do two things. First is thank you all for participating in this process. This is really, really important for us, and obviously we're in a situation that we've never been in before. So I appreciate the fact that you're all flexible and that you're working with the officers on doing this virtually. The other thing I wanted to say, I know that there are a few positions where people are running uncontested. And so, again, and I think this is a solid bunch, but just because you're in an uncontested category, please, please, as the officers have mentioned, think in terms of your schedule in the upcoming academic year and in terms of your contribution. I would be the first to say that we know that life happens, and so that's okay if there's an occasional issue, etc. But it shouldn't be going into this. You shouldn't be running with the idea that, oh, you know, I'll be at about half of the meetings, and there are other officers, and they'll take my burden for me. Think in terms of, this is quite a contribution as far as schedule-wise and time-wise, and it's fairly rewarding as an experience, and you'll learn a lot about yourselves. But even if you're running uncontested, in an uncontested race, I would say, take into consideration the time constraints, and I appreciate the fact that all of you are participating and running in this process. So thank you.
All right, thank you guys so much, and we'll be concluding the meeting now. We will keep you guys posted if there are any changes, but as of right now, the ballot is supposed to go live by tonight, and eventually by next Wednesday from 3:30 to 4:30, we'll be making the announcements in terms of who got which position and so on. Within that, because since it'll just be the announcement, we'll also be pairing up a couple of like a crash course sort of a thing where each officer would be addressing your specific questions. From that point onwards, we could either group y'all together in terms of like the new officer and the old officer having a separate conversation or a separate talk, so on and so forth with each position, so that we're not hanging on to the meeting too longer than it needs to be. So that being said, thank you guys so much. Have a wonderful day. Stay safe, and I will see you guys later. Bye.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye. Yes, thank you so much.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye, guys. Be safe.